chapter 17 called Three Kinds of Faith. Arjuna asks, there are men who sacrifice to God with faith in their hearts, although they do not follow the instructions of the scriptures. What is the nature of that faith? Does it belong to sattva, or to rajas, or to tamas? Krishna answers, faith among human beings is of three kinds. It is characterized by sattva, or by rajas, or by tamas, according to a man's dominant tendencies. Now listen. The faith of each individual corresponds to his temperament. A man consists of the faith that is in him. Whatever his faith is, he is. Men whose temperament is dominated by sattva worship God in his various aspects. Men of rajas worship power and wealth. As for the rest, the men of tamas, they worship the spirits of the dead and make gods of the ghosts of their ancestors. You may know these men to be of demonic nature, who mortify the body excessively in ways not prescribed by the scriptures. They do this because their lust and attachment to sense objects has filled them with egotism and vanity. In their foolishness, they weaken all their sense organs and outrage me, the dweller within the body. The food which is agreeable to different men is also of three sorts. So too are the kinds of sacrifice, austerity, and almsgiving. Listen, this is how they may be distinguished. Men of sattva like foods which increase their vital force, energy, strength, and health. Such foods add to the pleasure of physical and mental life. They are juicy, soothing, fresh, and agreeable. But men of rajas prefer foods which are violently bitter, sour, salty, hot, pungent, acid, and burning. These cause ill health and distemper of the body, mind and body. And men of tamas take a perverse pleasure in foods which are stale, tasteless, rotten, and impure. They like to eat the leavings of others. When men offer sacrifice in accordance with scriptural instructions and do not desire any advantage for themselves, they are inspired by sattva. Their hearts are set upon the sacrifice for its own sake. An inner sense of duty impels them. But you may be sure that the performance of sacrifice for outward show and in the hope of divine reward is inspired by rajas. When the givers of the sacrifice are inspired by tamas, they disregard scriptural instructions. There is no food offering, no prayer of dedication, no gift to the chief priest, and no faith at all. Reverence for the devas the seers, the teachers, and the sages. Straightforwardness, harmlessness, physical cleanliness, and sexual purity. These are the virtues whose practice is called austerity of the body. To speak without ever causing pain to another, to be truthful, to say always what is kind and beneficial, and to study the scriptures regularly. This practice is called austerity of speech. The practice of serenity, sympathy, meditation upon the Atman, and withdrawal of the mind from sense objects, and integrity of motive, is called austerity of the mind. When men practice this threefold austerity devotedly, with enlightened faith, and no desire for reward, it is said to have the nature of sattva. Austerity, which is practiced out of selfish pride, or to gain notoriety, honor, and worship, is said to have the nature of rajas. Its effect is not lasting, because it lacks devotion, resolution. Austerity is said to have the nature of tamas. When it is practiced for some foolish purpose, or for the excitement of self-torture, or in order to harm another person. A gift may be regarded as proceeding from sattva when it is given to a deserving person at a suitable time and in a fit place, not because of past benefits or in the hope of a future reward, but simply because the giver knows that it is right for him to give. Whatever is given in the hope of a like return, or with any other selfish motive, or reluctantly, may be known to proceed from rajas. From tamas comes the gift which is given to an unworthy person at the wrong time and in the wrong place, disdainfully, without regard for the feelings of him who receives it. Om Tat Sat. These three words designate Brahman, by whom the seers, the Vedas, and the sacrificial rites were created in ancient times. Therefore, Om is always uttered by the devotees of Brahman, as the scriptures direct, before undertaking any act of sacrifice, almsgiving, or austerity. Tat, meaning the Absolute, is uttered by seekers after liberation, who desire no reward for their deed. When they are about to make sacrifice, or give alms, or practice some austerity. Sat means goodness and existence. It also means an auspicious act. All perseverance in sacrifice, austerity, or almsgiving is Sat. All actions dedicated to Brahman are Sat. If a man performs any act of sacrifice, or gives any gift, or practices any austerity without directing his faith and will towards Brahman, then what he does is asat, unreal. It cannot produce any good result, either in this world or the next.